Youth is beautiful. It gleams bright with aspirations and dreams. It is a book of beginnings, but not all stories follow the script. This is a story that begins at the end of 4 young lives. She is Elizabeth Shireen Pearson. Next to her is her husband Godfrey. I know them. We attend the same church. And those are her sons, 19-year-old Amit and 17-year-old Ashish. 8 years ago, it was a morning as any other. I was reading the newspaper when one particular item caught my eye. It was about the death of 4 young boys at the Oginikkal Falls in Karnataka. It was the Pearson boys. A quick call to friends from the church confirmed the worst. This is the house of the Pearson family. The house was always full of children and their laughter, till the accident silenced it all.
When the Lord suddenly took away these 2 boys, it was as if He had given me these gifts just to rob me of them. I felt that my God had betrayed me. Till the night before, I didn't know they were going to Oginikkal Falls. I thought they were going to Mysore. And it is only in the morning when I woke up that I heard that they were going to Oginikkal Falls, and at once there was a tug in my heart. As I said bye to them, gave them their tea, I was not happy.
Amit, Ashish and their cousins Roshan and Kiran drowned in the water when the sluice gates were opened without a warning, even as they were crying out to God. Suraj, who is now 23 years old, witnessed his brothers drowning even as he clung to a rock. He was the only survivor. Shireen had committed her life to the Lord when she was 21 years old. He was her anchor. So when she had her children at the age of 35, she couldn't stop thanking God. Mother and sons shared a special bond.
But in those days after the boys went, I couldn't kneel to my Maker. I couldn't kneel to their Maker. And I couldn't pray. But really speaking, I am no saint. And I had not reached that high standard that I could surrender my children back to Him without blaming Him at all. And I think all along He understood what He had done to me, and He understood my pain, and He understood my anger. And He was very patient with me at that time.
Though people talked about how Shireen's God was the most cruelest God for having deprived her of both her children, God was with Shireen. On the day of the memorial service for the boys, God commanded Shireen to vindicate His honor before all the people by speaking to them at a time when she felt completely broken and lost.
He has not left us alone. He is not a cruel God who just delighted in robbing us of our children at the time of their lives just to torture us.
The most important testimony why God had told me to speak that became clear later on when a very dear colleague of mine, he said, I don't believe in God, any God, and I don't believe in Jesus. But after what you have spoken, I do know that there is Jesus, and Jesus is true.
Though Shireen vindicated God's honor, she still was unable to connect with Him.
I couldn't sing, and my eyes were full of tears. And then I felt the children hovering over me in St. Mark's Cathedral, literally hovering over me, and they kept on pressurizing me. Open your mouth and sing, Mummy, open your mouth and sing. Worship the Lord, worship the Lord. They were telling me from there. And I opened my mouth and I joined in the song. And from that time, suddenly such a burden lifted from me. And I could worship again. That breakthrough came at that time. I would argue with him again and again. and say, where are my children? Where have you taken them? Why didn't you give them more time to live out their years so that they would draw closer to you in your relationship, in their relationship with you? And he answered one thing, and he said, my purpose for their lives is over, but my purpose for your life is not over.
Along with sorrow, Shireen also felt great anger against the rest of the family that were with the boys when they drowned.
Dealing with the family was a real act of forgiveness that the Lord had to teach me. So it was just a wrong, misdirected anger that I had. That is what the Lord showed me. And I literally went to my sister-in-law and I asked her forgiveness for breaking out against her and telling her that I held her responsible. I draw my strength from God every day by sitting at His feet, reading from His Word. When I worship who He is, He lifts me out of my depression. And so I've come out of my prison by praise. Over this long lifetime, there are many ups and downs, but the one stabling influence in your life always remains Christ, no matter what happens.
All these years, I had never spoken to Shireen about the accident. I was afraid that if I did, that I might somehow rake up her grief. But today, I'm glad I did. Shireen's grace under fire has taught me, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose made under the heaven. Life becomes meaningful and easy to live if only we could put our trust in the Lord. And that is the truth of Shireen's life.